how to make money on this thing. It's simply too good. Gotta figure out how to make money on this. I really want to.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Wide Body Nation. We've got the AWE track exhaust on the 2022 SRT Hellcat jailbreak, which is a red-eye Charger, obviously. So with that being said, you guys can listen up, see what you guys think about a pretty cold start with some revs. Remember, these have rev limiters on them, so they only rev about a little bit higher than 4,000. So that's what you'll hear right now. And then I am charging up the GoPro to take this thing on the road. So listen up. So now that you guys have heard it, I'm going to show you around real quick. The lighting is a little tough because the sun is going down, but we will get you guys up nice and close here so you can see. So obviously we went with the black tips, and you know, TK Auto Works got them squared away, poking out probably just under an inch. You can see AWE right there. There we go. Got our decal on right there. Dual tip, obviously, looking nice and even. I like the black personally. Can't really see too much under the car. I mean, looks good. The track is no mufflers, and it has a resonator that is farther down, call it the mid pipe with the resonator. Now, do keep in mind that this exhaust, when you guys hear it, there's no valves. And I have the Z Automotive valve delete on it, just so that I didn't have to wire up any type of zip tie solution with the valves still in there. When we took the stock exhaust off, the valves were still in their OEM placement. Because I know you guys want to hear the exhaust, but if you guys are wondering, hey, well, if you don't have an exhaust, does the check engine light come up? And the answer is no, of course, with the help from Z Automotive and from AWE as well. So, I mean, it's pretty simple, just a catback exhaust. The installation video will be at the end of this. I'm gonna go grab the GoPro and take you guys for a ride in a second. If you guys are wondering, I do believe that this is part of a well-rounded theft deterrent solution, is getting an exhaust that is slightly louder, that when you turn the car on, it is impossible to notice that your car, was not turned on, because noise is a way to deter theft. If they turn on a car that's super loud, maybe you'll hear it from inside the store, inside the hotel, or inside of your house. If someone starts this in my garage right here, then obviously I'm going to hear it no matter where I am on the property. With that being said, this video is also supported by Destroyer1320.com. We offer our theft deterrent solution, which is right on in here. And I'll start the car up for you guys right after. So usually your neutral release pull strap is right here, and that is how they actually stole my 2021 Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat Red Eye, non-jailbreak, because they didn't have the jailbreak yet. Let's do a startup from in here though. Got our radar detector up there as well. Ooh, spicy. All right. Initial thoughts are the startup sound on this is louder. One, because the exhaust valves are deleted, and then two, because it is a full 3-inch straight through design with an H pipe rather than an X pipe, which is a little bit, I think, a reason why you get a little bit raspier and slightly less smooth note, which I like, the raspy and the sharp note. That is, when you start it up, it's not insane. In the garage, I mean, you guys heard it, it does reverberate in here. But let's say if you just parked your car outside, which I don't recommend you do because these cars are stolen, I would say you're not going to totally destroy your neighbors if you just do this as a catback. There is a way to drive even the track exhaust so that you don't, freak out your neighbors. So if you guys are between the track and the touring from AWE, the track is still manageable as long as you're not driving crazy in your neighborhood. And then we'll talk about drone or lack thereof and just kind of the driving dynamics, the driving sounds, if it turns people's heads, what kind of action it attracts while we are driving. So with that being said, let's go ahead, grab the GoPro, and we'll go for a ride. Y'all, so I've got all the windows up right now, AC is basically off, and we're just cruising about 40 miles an hour. You do get some good little pops, natural pops and backfires, just in general, not really any specific RPM range, which I was happy to see that the nature of the exhaust just did that without really, we haven't really done anything to the car. So pretty entertaining to do that. I'll be jumping onto the highway for you guys so you guys can kind of hear it wide open throttle from in the car, and then I can talk to you guys about how loud it is in here. I had the stock exhaust, no modifications, and then I did the stock exhaust with the valve delete simulators. So I deleted the valves and I had the simulators from Z Automotive, and so that raised the noise level up to full-time open. I'm just gonna have to slow down here so I can actually get a good acceleration here. And then this exhaust has no valves. I've got the deletes on there, so there's no check engine light, and it is the track version. So here we go. I've got it in sport mode right now, so it's you know, pretty responsive. Went from about 20 to the speed limit on that pull, but then as you guys can, we're chilling a little under the speed limit now, and you guys can hear that we're just chilling. So the only rev range that I notice any real noise difference from stock is right under 2,000. If you let it just sit there, let it just sit right under 2,000, which is what you're hearing right now, plus this motorcycle. So as you guys can tell, it does sound pretty good, we will say. Maybe even very good. Get some downshifts for y'all. Tires are warmed up, so they're picking up rocks now. Just go ahead and do a U-turn here. But as you guys can hear, car sounds good. But like I said, at idle, it idles deeper. It idles deeper, a little raspier than stock, but it isn't a ton of decibels louder, I would say. So that's a good thing. You know, it starts up strong, but not crazy. You know, it's not just screaming at you when you're doing a cold start. Now, it still is 77 degrees out, so I haven't had like a winter cold start or anything like that yet. So, you know, that could change in the winter. It could be a little bit raspier. It could be a little spicier with the cold start in cold weather. But, you know, honestly, you know, between the fact that this car is so heavy, got so much interior, you know, nice thick leather and sound deadening and all that, it's just it's one of those things where even if it's a loud exhaust, you're not going to hear a ton of it in the cabin. Now outside, it's plenty loud. I used to get people telling me that this car was loud as heck, even when I had the stock exhaust, and the valves would open up and we'd be, you know, driving the speed limit and stuff like that. Here we got a tunnel coming up, so I'll pull you all down a little bit, do the back windows down a little more. Well, actually, let's open this up. So there you go. You guys can hear that with the reverb on the tunnel there. We'll leave it open for this pull onto the highway. Probably still about good there. I'm not sure how much wind noise we'll get, so maybe I'll do that, and then we'll do just a vent setup with the sunroof. I'm not a sunroof expert, so. Problem is, when I'm trying to film videos for y'all and I go on these on-ramps, I catch up to people too quick. I feel like the window, yeah. You'll have to let me know what that sounds like, but now we're just cruising on the highway, right around the speed limit. You guys can tell, pretty chilling here. So, is the AWE touring probably quieter slash less, a little less drone at that one spot, right under 2,000? Probably, but I'm always the type of person to go loud and then go quiet after that, whereas I have seen people try to get the tame exhausts and then they get depressed because they just spent a good chunk of change on an exhaust that doesn't sound that different, and it just makes people unhappy. So you know, on my WRX, my 2022 WRX, I do recommend the 2022, or sorry, the AWE touring catback for that for the WRX. You know, with it being a Subaru, you know, a boxer engine, has equal length headers, and just it's my daily. So I prefer to have that car as dialed as possible. I mean, you know, that car, it's not like this. This car weighs, you know, 4,500 pounds and has leather everywhere and like really heavy materials, so it soaks everything up. Whereas the Subaru is much more like driving a tin can. So if you have a track version exhaust on the Subaru, it tends to echo a lot more than you know, than a Hellcat or even like a Corvette or something that's just a little bit more premium all around. It just doesn't soak up the noise. So that's why, as a daily and then just as a Subaru, I recommend the AWE touring. As far as install goes, you guys will see that at the end of the video, in this video, but you know, generally an easy install. The one thing Tommy and Adrian were saying was challenging was getting the stock exhaust off of the factory downpipes, you know, the pipes coming off of the manifolds. And I guess that just comes down to being able to force those off in whatever way, shape, or form you or your shop chooses. It didn't take like a torch or nothing to cut it. It just took some elbow grease and some, you know, some penetrating oil and stuff like that. So nothing that you can't solve. It's just something to be aware of for when you guys are doing the install. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of the sounds. I'll try to get some drive-by clips for you guys in future videos. As far as other modifications to this car, the only major things that would impact the sound of this video would be, we have the S&B JLT cold air intake, and that's the V2, the newer version, which is OEM plus looking. And then we have the AWE track catback, and then we have Toyo R888Rs on the rear, which I know you guys are like, what are you talking about sound? they're a loud tire. That's kind of what you hear right now. That whining, that is the tires in the rear. Fronts don't make that noise. The fronts are the stock all seasons. The Toyos, they make like a little bit of a slapping / a whining noise, just because they are, you know, they're a competition tire. They're sticky. There's not a lot of different treads in them. They're just they're a competition tire. They're a little heavy, and they do their job, but they are kind of loud. So, and they're expensive. All right, well, if y'all stuck to the end of the video, I appreciate you for tuning in. All the links for all the things that are done to this car, theft protection and, you know, performance modification wise and aesthetically, are down below in the description, and a few of them are in the pinned comment. The pinned comment will have AWE information and Destroyer1320.com information. Don't forget, Z Automotive helped out with this, you know, the sound and the operation of the seamless operation of this exhaust, because I have their exhaust valve simulators on the car. And if you guys are one of those people where you're like, oh, I'm really stuck on the valves, I mean, I get it in some ways, but honestly, like, I just prefer the car sounding the way it sounds and not having two separate ways that this car sounds. But hey, to each their own. Regardless of that, appreciate y'all for tuning in. It is too dark for me to be wearing sunglasses in this car that has been tinted by Nomad Auto Works. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, and I will see you for the next video. And stay safe, because you drive a Mopar.